All right, good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you to another edition of Marriagmatics for singles and married, Marriagmatics Live. I want to thank you for joining us every time, and I'm sure you have been blessed. We have also been blessed. We are honored by the grace of God to be a channel of throwing light, especially in this aspect of a marriage. I'm not here alone. I'm here with my babe, my girlfriend, and the naughtiest person in my life, which that is a compliment, and then in person of Coach D.
Good evening. Good evening, our dear viewers.
Reverend Mrs. Adeolu Okune. I just gave her that reverend now.
Okay.
All right, so good evening once again. My name is Olumide Okuneye, and better known as Coach Mide. And then want to thank you so much for joining us. Tonight we are going to be addressing a very, very serious issue. But before we do that, I would like to remind you that by the grace of God, we are involved in Marriagmatics Consult. We have this, by the grace of God, this counseling unit, organization, outfit that is called Marriagmatics Consult, and we are involved in so many things. You can be a part of some of the things that we are involved in. One, we have a community of couples. Community of couples, a lot of them, awesome and handsome people. And then WhatsApp, it's a WhatsApp, we call it Marriagmatic Sexology, just addressing the issue of sex in marriage and many other aspects. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful place to be if you are married. And then we also have, we have both on WhatsApp, and we just opened our Telegram page now, which you can be a part. So that some of the things we do, you can also join for Marriagmatic Sexology. If I let me announce to you that this weekend we are addressing a major issue called, the title is, the theme is centered around when a woman says no to sex. What could be wrong and how do you address it? I'm sure it's going to be, a serious eye-opener for a lot of men. And then a lot of women are going to do like, yes. So
you are speaking our mind.
So it will be a very nice experience if you join us. Telegram link is going to be posted after this meeting. And then the WhatsApp, if you would like to be on the WhatsApp community, just private chat me. And then we are going to put it there. Also, we have our YouTube channel, Coach Mide Marriagmatics. Recently, we just posted a video of some of these couples. We posted some videos, series of videos of couples that I interviewed, and we didn't tell them we were going to talk about sex. And then I asked them some questions, and they were, you just come and see those beautiful reactions. You need to visit that YouTube channel. It's a beautiful experience, I'm telling you. And then also, apart from that, we are involved in professional counseling. We are going to be making some announcements soon, and for both premarital counseling, adjusting to marriage. That means post-marital or post-wedding counseling. And then we also have rejuvenating your sex life. If you are interested in that and you like to talk with people who have walked this path, we would love to work with you. Maybe just at a little token, which is more of a commitment fee, basically. And we are involved in so many things. So sometimes there are people out there, you just want to talk with someone that is not a part of your church circle, part of your friend circle. You want someone neutral, and we are very much on ground to walk you through whatever you are going through. And I'm telling you, it's not as serious as you think it is. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us. This is Marriagmatics Live for both singles and married. I would like to ask you to please follow me, my page, so that when we go on here anytime, you will see the notification immediately, and then you can be a part of this. So enough of what we do. Let's talk about what we are here to talk about tonight. And this is going to involve families. Families, especially towards the build-up to the wedding. Sister Adela?
Okay. Thank you so much. So please remember, subscribe to Coach Mide Marriagmatics YouTube page. There are lots of beautiful things there for you. So we want to talk about navigating family expectation. Actually, it's like a two-part thing, because we want to look at it from the side of the families, and then we want to look at it from the side of the couple. So we know that marriage is two people coming together, and both of them are coming from separate family setup.
Separate backgrounds.
Separate backgrounds. Ideally, you are not supposed to marry someone from your family. That is that is insects, right? So two people.
Immediate family. Okay.
Yes. Even these days, people don't marry their cousins or whatever. Again, yeah, it's more in the old times that people find themselves marrying their cousins and all. So, in essence, what we are saying is that there are families involved. So the man is coming from a family, the woman is coming from a family. Nobody jumped down from the sky. Like, even if the person is an orphan, somehow the person was raised by some people. Even if it's in an orphanage, that those people at that place will stand as their family. So somehow each of the party to the marriage comes from a family. So now, I want to look at it that now, what are the responsibilities? What are those things that is expected from families towards the build-up to the relationship and the marriage, the wedding, and then the marriage itself? Like, okay, what's the fact that, okay, you are my family, what do I expect from you in this, towards this thing we are doing now? And first thing I want to talk about is that the family, you're expected to mirror the positive side of marriage to the people. I mean, that's very basic. Like, it's what, well, I was still talking with someone today, and we're saying the fact that people who come from broken homes, we're even discussing that. I mean, we want people not to marry people from broken homes and all of that, but at the end of the day, we will not marry them. But what we are trying to say is that it's what the family mirrors to the children now, or to the young people that say they are in a relationship. So it's what they mirror to them that somehow, consciously or unconsciously, forms their own basis of their marriage. Or what do you think?
Recently we were having I can't forget that, we were having a premarital counseling session for a couple to be. And then we asked them, we asked the lady, what do you think? How do you handle money? How do you want, what are your expectations in the issue of handling money? And then she said, I love us to budget, let's budget.
Yeah, because that's what we do in our family. We
got to discover that that is the way that they operate in her family. Now, naturally, everywhere she goes to, families that she look at and all, she expects that how will you get money without drawing a budget? However, I'm sure the guy did not come from a family where budgets are drawn. You just spend the money and you trust God. Now, so what are we saying? It's we need to understand that the background of each individual, you as parents, you are the one who will form the basis, the template that these guys are going to work with. Now, that means if you do it badly, they are also going to work from that standpoint. And for example, in a family where the father beats the wife, the mother anyhow, it's natural for the guy to expect that if the lady messes up, she needs to be beaten.
Just lighter.
Just give her some slaps and then beat her so that she will understand who is the head. Now, that guy, while it is wrong in itself, got that from the parent. So what are we saying? Parents, you are the template, you are the defining factor for these homes. You are the ones who will mirror whatever you mirror. Whatever you do is what they will mirror.
They'll see as
whatever you do is what they will do. And so that's why now I think this is an appeal to the parents that let's do our part right now, even from now, to begin to demonstrate the right kind of life.
Yes.
Let me tell you, these guys are watching you, and anytime they meet themselves in situations that they have seen you operating, they are going to do what you did without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So what are we expecting from parents? Be a good mentor.
Yes.
Be a good
a good model
for these young ones.
So that's your part. And closely related to this is the issue of guiding, guiding them, telling them this how to go about it, this, a guide for me, a guide is maybe you go to a zoo, you go to a resort that you don't know where to go, and the guide tells you, oh, this is the history of this place, it just helps you to navigate. Not that the guide is the one carrying you per se, it's just helping you to navigate. So we also should be guide, and for someone to be a guide, it means you are more knowledgeable. So families, one of our duty is to get knowledge, the right kind of knowledge, so that we can serve as guides to this Gen Z, and all of that generation, about going to relationships and getting married. Now we need to have the proper kind of knowledge and to be able to act as guides to them.
Now, however, while you guide, be very careful that you do not impose on these guys. Don't impose what your own attitude, your own thinking, except some things that are clearly right. Some things that are clearly right. Now, you don't impose on them. You give them an opportunity to choose.
To make their decisions. Yes, because one of the things that can happen to a parent or to a family member wanting to guide and coach a young person is because you have made some mistakes, you want to relive your own life through them, which is clearly wrong. We are not meant to say, okay, maybe because I made a mistake or I did it this way, which I wish I did not. So I want to relive my life through you. Everyone's life is quite different. So we need to be knowledgeable. We need to, and these are times where no one can, if you are not truly knowledgeable in an area, it's not a must.
Yes, you can't always go through a training and then get some better understanding.
Excuse me.
Listen, get some better understanding about some of these things. Like what I was saying about not imposing on them, please, I want to plead that you need to understand that these guys are matured enough to make decisions. If I one thing I've learned now in mentoring young people, some young people now who suddenly I realize that they are older. Now they are talking about wedding, they are talking about marriage. There was a time they won't even dare to raise such issues with me. But now they talk about wedding, they talk about marriage. I see them, going 2 by 2 now. And then now I've made up my mind. When I address them, I tell them what I think is right. And I respect their choices, even if they don't do what I ask them to do.
Yeah, it goes to respecting boundaries too.
Put your boundaries, respect yourself. And then there was a day in church, some of these young guys were saying, allow us to make our mistakes.
That was below the belt, right?
I won't forget that day. They were so serious about
Excuse me.
Allow us to make our mistakes. Now, while that may be a bit dicey, but sometimes we just need to carry your face and pray for them.
Yes, which leads us to the spiritual cover thing. We need to act as spiritual covers to them. Yeah. That's the least we can. Yes, prayers.
Prayer. Towards the build-up, the build-up towards the wedding, even start before they get into relationship, begin to cover them in the place of prayer. There are some children that they can never miss it because their parents have made covenant with God. So if they enter into a wrong relationship, it will break. If they enter into a relationship that will break them, it will break before they make it a serious one. So be a cover for these guys and pray for them, cover them. And then let me say this one, also support them financially. Support them. Don't just support them only when it is towards the wedding. Now, a lot of times, many parents that I know now, what they do is towards the wedding, they make a lot of noise themselves, invite a lot of their friends, and then they raise their own money to cook food, take care of their own people, and then they say, we did your wedding for you. No, you didn't do that wedding for them. So support them. Even towards the wedding, just decide, take this. May God bless every parent watching this now. Just support them financially, Support them if you need to refer them to people. If you have some networks and connections that can really help them, please go ahead and do that, and so that they can start on a better trajectory than you did, because they should not go through the pain, the stress that you went through. Thank God that you went through that so that they will not go through them. So help them, carry them with your wings, as it were, and don't complicate issues for them. Can I say that one also?
Yes.
Don't complicate issues for them. I've seen some ridiculous bride lists, or what do you call it now?
Bride price.
Bride,
list.
not price. The list. Very ridiculous.
Engagement list.
And then sometimes you wonder what exactly is wrong. I'm not sure you paid as much as you're asking them to do. Just help them. I've seen families where they just take a lot of the stress off the two of them, and then they just show up in the wedding and they enjoy themselves. Be a blessing to them. They will always be grateful to have you.
Yes, thank you so much. I just want us to talk briefly again about what not to do. Let's just look at some of the things that we ought not to do as families.
Side?
Yes,
Okay.
as families. Everything is still about from families.
Yeah.
The second part of this discussion, maybe next week, will be from the point of the couples or couple to be. So, I want to talk about what not to do. And I have here that doing too much too soon. See, there will be a lot of time to make that person your son, that your son, proposed son-in-law or proposed daughter-in-law. There'll be a lot of time when they get married to do everything you need to do with the person. But don't do so much so soon. What I mean is this. Okay, this guy comes and say, this is the babe I'm thinking of. We love each other. They've not even started talking about a date for marriage. But because you want to be the good family, you receive them. It can be also from the lady's point. Say, this is the guy I like. We are going out and all. You're welcome and all. Before you know it, the person has become your best friend, has become part of the family. As you have, maybe you are just doing something in the family, person also buys the family cloth. So much so soon. The person is already.
When you need money, and your cash.
Yes, you call him that at least you are going out with my daughter. It becomes it be like what are we doing? Don't do so much so soon. What such things does is that they dampen the I don't know, the freshness of the whole thing. You are doing so much so soon. It's just like you are cooking something. Okay, let me use amala as an example. Normally if you want to stir amala, you want to cook correct amala, you will wait for the water to boil before pouring in the yam flour.
You can pour it and then
if you don't, I tell you, if you pour it while the water is cold, what do you have? An undone amala. There is no amount of things or you can put in that thing again that will that will change it becomes pasty, it becomes something else. So you need to wait for the water to boil. What am I saying? Let this relationship concretize. Let's even see where it's going.
Let it grow.
Let it grow on there. Don't choke them.
Some parents get so involved that even when the lady or the guy want to go their separate ways, they can't go because the mother-in-law to be is already literally married, has married them, and so they can't even break up because you are so fully involved.
Yeah, don't do so much so soon. Let them have that space to grow. By the time they are to the extent of getting engaged and getting married, fine, And then when they are married, you have the whole time to do whatever you want to do. Of which, when you get too close too soon, one of the danger is the see finish syndrome. By see finish, we mean that over familiarity, and they say it breeds content. It breeds a lot of things which you won't like, because even when they are married, there still has to be boundaries. But when you have done so much so soon, there's no boundary. Everything is just everywhere. It's not really healthy. It's not really healthy for that relationship. And I think close to that is the fact that you have to understand that they are not yet married until they are married. They are not yet married until they are married. What do I mean? Is that you don't say, I know there are funny cultures. I've learned of a culture that will say, maybe the girl is not feeling fine, say, oh yeah, go to your boyfriend's house. So maybe you will feel good by the time you.
Is he a doctor?
No, it's not a doctor. Just go for some 2-3 days. You will feel fine by the time you are coming back. I mean, that's clearly so ridiculous. So they are not yet married until they are married. Don't treat them as married couple. When they come to visit you, don't say, that is your room, oh, go and sleep there. I mean, they are not married. Don't encourage such things.
Can you say that again? That place of that is your room. No, I want to just so that you can.
Yes, because yes, what I mean is, okay, two people are going out there in a relationship and they have cause to come to the, let's say, the lady's parents. Let's use the lady for an example now. They need to come and visit, or they have cause to stay over in their house, and the parents were like, we've prepared your old room. That is the girl, or maybe she has gone away from the house, working somewhere else. Let's say, we prepared this room for you and your person. That's your room. Go and sleep. So what together? So what they mean is that the two of you are actually meant to sleep in the same room. We are not married. You should know that they are not married. Don't treat them as married when they are not yet married. If it's a must that the guy should sleep in that house, you must be able to treat the guy as a guest. Give him the guest room. Don't let there be, it's just so nice when things are done with decency. With honor. I can't imagine. So, and the same for the ladies listening to, you go to the guy's house and, you just sleep in his room, they sleep, you sleep together, everything. You rise up in the morning, you start sweeping, you start throwing pepper, you start, they say, this is your stew, there's too much pepper. Imagine, you are not yet married, though they are telling you that you have to do this is how you will. My son likes the clinical to be done. It is not like though.
It is not at all. It is not.
I mean, it's not healthy for the relationship. Just wait. There's no. By God's grace, nobody will die. You will still, all these things. In fact, by the time you start doing it, you will be fed up of those things. So, just wait. If you want to wash, is it cloth you want to wash? Is it soup you want to cook? Is it floor you want to sweep? Anything you want to sweep. See, you'll get tired of it. You even be complaining at some point. So why are you stressing yourself now, trying to prove a point that I'm a wife material or I'm a husband material? So as husband material now, even the third cousin of your proposed wife will call you that, uncle, please, I need something for school, while you are still proposed husband, just to prove that I'm a responsible husband. I will bear all the financial burden from their first cousin to their fifth cousin. You don't need it. You don't need it.
To their prayers.
So when the whole thing does not work out, what will happen?
So let me just chip this in. No matter the what culture that we may have at this point, it doesn't mean that everybody should do what everybody does.
Yeah.
It
doesn't make them right.
Everybody, you are different. Their parents, please note that you are different. During your time, you can still remember how things were done. Please help maintain these standards. Don't just everybody, that's what everybody is involved in, and then you encourage it. Please, it's not very healthy, especially for your word. It's not very healthy. Now let me drop this. At that point, there is a possibility of you giving so much advice, unsolicited advice. A lot of things you want to pour. Now, even I understand the way that feels. Sometimes you know a lot of things, and you want to just bombard them with all these things so that they will not make the mistakes you made, so that they can move faster. You have very good intentions, but the truth is, many of these things, I can assure you, about 85% of them may not even pass through these people you are trying to discuss with. At that point in time, they are so concerned about being with each other. So you call, you give advice. This one, advice. You are at every decisions, every point. You are advising, even to the choice of wedding gown. I don't think some of these stress you are supposed to get involved in them. There is a need for you to set boundaries and to allow them to make their choices.
If their church said that they must wear a certain
but let
kind
them
of
choose what they want to put on, and then yes, you can sort out those ones at the level of the church. But if you have raised these children well, which I'm sure you have, they will choose very good things that will honor God. Please, a lot of time when we give unsolicited advice, they become useless. They become trouble eventually. You may end up saying things you shouldn't say, and then you may end up causing a lot of trouble.
Yes, and then they might end up resisting you, and
Yes.
you will feel bad, and it may affect your relationship. By the time they stand up to you and say, "Oh, my mommy is okay," no.
Have you had situations where women bring out their own wedding gown, and then they want the lady to put it on? But that this one was passed to me by my mom, and you also should put it on your wedding day. I mean, if such a lady agrees, especially if your own is the son, and the lady agrees, I'll be shocked. So, but if she says no, then it becomes an issue to you.
Yeah, you feel offended.
Pick up, fight. You create unnecessary enmity, and then you won't be able to sit and enjoy the beauty of having a daughter-in-law. So, dear parents, we want to plead with you that resist the urge to give unsolicited advice at every point. One of the beautiful things I've seen in counseling is when people come to you and ask, "What should I do?"
Yeah,
you are so sure that 85 to 90% of all times when they ask you these questions, they are likely going to do them. And the beauty of counseling is you tell people what to do, they do them, you see the result, everybody is happy, and then it's okay. I mean, that is beautiful. But if they just come to visit and you're already telling them what to invest in, what not to invest in, what to put on, what not to put on, the kind of people to talk with or not, you will weary them and they won't want to
be so close to you. Well, I think finally from my own end there is don't encourage unhealthy feedbacks. What I mean is, especially when they are married now, when they're a young couple and all of that, don't encourage unhealthy feedbacks that maybe your son comes back to you or your daughter comes back to you and starts, feeding you back of all the bad things. I mean, don't encourage that so much. If they actually have some problems adjusting and all, I'd rather say refer them to professional counseling and all of that than for you, because when you encourage such things, what happens is that, okay, maybe your daughter comes to you and tells you the bad things about her husband, and you keep encouraging her. She tells you that when they forgive themselves, you that she had fed with all those things, you find it difficult to forgive the man. So when you go to their house, you are looking at the man you react and do all of that with that guy, which is, quite unnecessary. So don't really encourage that, unhealthy feedbacks all the time, tell you about all, negative things about their spouses. You rather help them to be able to work it out, Yeah.
And if they ask you questions, you answer.
Yes,
you encourage them, and then
you need to start seeing them, especially when they get married, especially for newly married people. Start seeing the both of them as a family unit. Now, don't say that because this is my own daughter, I'm for my daughter. I need to protect my daughter against her husband. That kind of mentality. Or I need to protect my son against his wife. Start seeing them. By the time you accept them as a unit, it's easier for you to actually be a blessing to them when you are not siding with any, when you are clear in your definitions.
You can eventually turn to a prayer point if you start siding someone against someone. They will take your name to mountain and begin to pray that God will clear you from the road. Now, that will not be your portion.
Amen.
Let parents begin to dissociate themselves, as it were, from when it comes to overbearing attitudes. Yourself from there. Allow them to walk their path, support them in prayer, and I'm telling you, your desires will definitely come to fulfillment. And then maybe finally, from my own end, dear parents, when it comes to their wedding, please remember it is their wedding, not yours. You had yours.
Yeah, shaking table.
Yes, let's shake this table tonight. It is not your wedding, it is their wedding. And I'm telling you, to be very fair and candid, they have the right to make decisions about what they want, how they want it, and whatever. Yours is to support, yours is to pray. And then if you are the type who get disturbed easily, will everything be okay? Make arrangement for your visitors. Make arrangement for the people you are inviting. And then, I just said that. But really, if they want a small, cute wedding, I don't expect the parent to be the one to say, for where are you going to do that? Let's blow it big. Honor their decisions, support them. Don't make unnecessary demands. Don't make I know some tribes who make a lot of demands that are so funny. We don't want to mention names, but really, let's be humane. Don't make unnecessary demands, and understand that these people are just going to start their family. They need all the money. They need all the support. That in fact, ideally, you should do the wedding for them. God will bless you so much so that they can keep money, set up things for themselves. But so what I'm saying is, from my end, don't make unnecessary demands as they build up towards their wedding. And I'm telling you, if you follow some of these things we have said tonight, this couple will look back and they will call you blessed. One of the beauty of being a grandparent is when they just come, bring their kids and drop them with you. They know it is safe. They are safe when they are with you. And that's a beautiful expectations a lot of grandparents want. That will be your portion.
Amen.
So, but please walk this part and then walk it very well. For every parent here trusting that their daughter will get married this year, we agree with you in the place of prayer.
Amen.
With faith that desire in your mind will come to reality.
Amen.
We don't care whether there is a guy who is going to marry or there's a lady that is going to marry. We know God makes things work and it does it perfectly. So we speak in Jesus' name that your daughter, your son will get married this year.
Amen.
As the Lord God of Zion lives. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
And then just relax yourself and cross your leg. You are going to grow up to become a very beautiful grandpa and beautiful grandma.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Okay. Thank you so much. Just a little note also that, we spoke a lot about parents. It also applies to other family members too, please. If you are the sister, the brother, the all of that, please just follow some of these principles too.
Your own is even a bit far.
Please don't just follow those. Just follow those principles, and the Lord will help you, because you also want a good home. So don't mess up their own chances too. Thank you so much. It's actually going to have a part B, as we said.
I hope you still love us. After all this,
the table shaking.
We know you love us.
Yeah.
Thank you
so
much.
there's going to be a part B by God's grace next week. We're going to talk to the couples, also the couples to be. We've talked to, from the family's perspective. Now I want to look at also at from the couple's perspective what they should and should not do. Wow. Yes, wedding and marriage eventually. Wow, so great being with us, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much
for joining us.
Thank you, Coach Mide. And then we want to say thank you to Ajayi Misioluwa
behind the camera. Thank you so much. And thank you for all our friends and viewers all over. We appreciate you. If you have questions, please feel free to send it to us as a direct message. And we're going to post all the other details in the comment section. Kindly look through them. God bless you. Bye-bye.